What's up, guys? Atom Bacon here. Welcome back to more Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. In the last episode, we got two new police cars, unlocked a new unit, a couple of vehicle upgrades, and got our police rank promoted. Starting off this episode, we're gonna do a race. Alright, what car do I want to use? Try this thing out. See how this goes. That's a nice shade of blue. Alright, so I've decided from here on out that I'm going to be cutting out the loading screens. Now, you may notice the car I'm driving is not the car I just selected a moment ago. I tried to do this race, and that car controlled horribly, and I could hardly handle what the heck was going on. Again! Okay, this was cut out, but they did that in the last attempt too. I'll put that on screen now or something. Whoa! Woo! Jeez, this thing's sliding. Because that happened last time. I can't believe that happened twice. But yeah, this car just is a lot better to control. I've never used that car before. No, I have no problem using cars obviously I don't want to rely on the same couple of cars for every event, but that car just was not fun to drive. So, and plus I kind of choked on my words a couple of times in that, and that was just not fun for anyone to watch. Oh! Was that the same place I crashed last time, too? Because I know I had a head-on collision last time. Yeah, I think it was on that bridge again. Ah. So, one thing I want to ask you guys is, what kind of things do you think would be good to talk about in these episodes? Because I have a bit of a hard time coming up with things to say. And granted, I realize now as I'm asking this that this episode is not going to come out for a long time. But still, this could still come in handy for later episodes. What kind of things do you want to hear me talk about during these race missions? Because, or just any of these kind of races or rapid responses or those kind of things where there isn't a lot to talk about. Because that was one of my big challenges going into this Let's Play, was commentating it wasn't going to be the easiest thing in the world. And that's not reason enough for me to back out of this or anything. I'm having a lot of fun with this Let's Play. But I think I made that guy crash! Okay, that wasn't what crashed me. But yeah, definitely the main thing that's keeping this a bit of a challenge for me is that it can be difficult to come up with things to say sometimes for a game that's for a game like this. Okay, now this is shadow driving if I ever saw it. Holy crap. Like, this is like true shadow driving. You really gotta pay attention to what the hell's going on in the road! I'm just digging myself into the grave by doing this. It is fun, but oh dear lord, it's difficult. What is with people hitting things in this race? Everyone's hitting everything. It's like these cars are magnetic all of a sudden. Okay, that didn't count. That was on purpose. If I can catch up to that guy. But, I have to say though, like I said, this Let's Play has been a bit more of a challenge than The Blob or Metroid Prime. But Metroid Prime wasn't a challenge at all, really. I mean, I wasn't even the one playing that game, except for one very short clip in 11X, if you took an hour and a half out of your time to watch that deleted scene. But, Anyway, what was that? I know. In general, though, I'm really glad I've had a chance to do these because Let's Plays are something I've been wanting to do for quite a while. And I'll be honest, I didn't think I'd actually have a chance to do them. Like, I sometimes like to imagine some of the games I was playing as Let's Plays, but I honestly didn't think I'd actually reach this point of having what I need to genuinely do Let's Plays. And I'm really happy that I'm able to. And the money I spent on my recording and equipment is certainly does not feel like wasted money. I'm really happy I invested in this, and I'm having a lot of fun. I know I have a really small audience as of recording this, and hopefully by the time this episode is up, my audience is bigger than 18 subscribers, but attention is not why I'm doing it. And nor do I really plan to do this too heavily. Like, this is a hobby for me, and I know a lot of people, some of the big names, actually make a living off of this, and there's nothing wrong with that. Kudos to them for having the dedication and just being able to do this kind of thing to the point where it becomes their career. But that's not something I want to look into. I know what I want to do with my life, and playing video games professionally is not that. Making money off of my YouTube channel is not that. For those who care, what I actually want to do with my life is become a counselor. Exactly what field I want to specialize in, I haven't decided, but that's where I'm hoping to go. But for the meantime, I do really enjoy Let's Plays, and I'm really glad I've been able to do these. So, I definitely do have a lot of projects planned, and a lot of these are probably recorded ahead of time. Speaking of future projects, if any of you here use the same recorder as I do, which is a HD PVR Rocket, if you don't know it by name, I'll put a picture of my recorder up on screen right about now. If any of you know this, use this same recorder, or know someone who uses this recorder, if you know how to hook this thing up to record off a PC, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm gonna try to fiddle around with it, but if you know, it would be really nice if you can't do it. Okay. What? It'd be really. I do have quite a few LPs that I plan to do that are PC games, and whoa boy, I have 6 EMPs. Good thing I got those EMP and Roblox upgrades. But yeah, I don't want to spoil what my future projects are going to be, and saying they're on PC isn't that much of a spoiler because there are console versions of the games I want to do. It's just that I happen to own the PC versions, and I prefer the PC control schemes for them. Plus, I got them on sale on Steam for way cheaper than I could have gotten them on console, so. Anyway, getting into the main event here, this will be a good time if, just a recap, at the end of the last episode, I hit the wrong button there. At the end of the last episode, we got a couple of new upgrades. We got level 3 roadblocks. Actually kind of interesting because the new roadblocks actually use a Porsche unit. So it's fitting that their first cameo is in the Porsche patrol event. Additionally, we also got a new EMP, which locks on twice as fast as the old EMP. You see, I've already gotten 2 of them down. And this guy doesn't look like he's going anywhere anytime soon. Maybe he is. Woo. Might as well put down another roadblock. It is quite possible that by the time you're watching this, hey buddy, by the time you're watching this, I've already figured out how to connect to the PC. Hopefully I have, because I do have some very interesting plans, and I really hope to get them off my PC. And also, hopefully, if I can figure out how to get it hooked up to my PS3. Actually, I don't think I'd be able to do a full Let's Play of it, but if I can, in fact, hook this thing up to my PlayStation 2, I think I said PC a moment ago, but I didn't say PlayStation 2. If it works the way I think it will from my PS2, there's a small chance I might actually be able to hook this thing up to my NES. That's a bit of a stretch because even though it'll probably be able to, even though it would plug in the same way, I just don't know if such an old system would work with it. But I'll probably try it out and see how it goes, because even though I probably wouldn't be able to do a full Let's Play, just because I'd have to do it all at once, if the game were to crash or something, which, let's face it, the NES, it's a highly possible probability. That's a non-choice of words. But I might do some gameplay off of that. Maybe like some versus or two-player mode or something. I don't know. This is all just ideas at this point. Nothing's set in stone, but these are things I'm considering. And definitely, I definitely do plan to bring back some more guests like I did with Prime. Jaden may come back for future Metroid Let's Plays. And I'll probably end up doing some more stuff with Chris Kringle as well. Both of which are good friends of mine. Oh, got him. I didn't bust him, but... How much not? 4.8 meters left. Okay. Can I get these guys?
All units, local EMPs are now
I think that didn't work now.
EMPs are a go.
Combat, bro. Oh! Gotcha! Another thing, also that I'm looking for is some better editing software, if, that's somewhat affordable. Because right now, it's, I don't know, I've just had a hard time working with some of my software. Well, I have something that works, but it's pretty bad and kind of embarrassing that I'm still stuck using the basics. I've tried a couple of programs that friends have recommended and to varying degrees of success. I spent $70 on what seemed like a really good recorder, but it crashed my computer when I bought it. Thankfully, I was able to get a full refund. And I had the only other really good editing software I've really used with A, Mac exclusive, and B, expensive as all hell. And I know there's like Adobe, but A, like I said, I'm kind of broke, and B, I don't really like, I'm not a huge fan of paying subscriptions. If I can find something that I can just pay a down payment and be done with it. Oh.
The cops have been increasing their use of force. To combat this, we have fitted your car with a jammer. When in a pursuit, you can activate this device to disable the communications and weapons of all cops for a limited time. While active, this weapon will also show you the position of any local roadblocks the cops have set up. The effect will only last for a short time. After this, the system will need to recharge before you can activate it again. Activating the jammer takes a lot of juice, so you will only have enough for a few uses.
So yeah, we've seen that thing a bit in we've been on the receiving end of the jammer a few times, but now we're finally getting to actually use it. The jammer, like they said, you can use it to disable the police some of their weaponry. One thing that no, one thing you might think to do right away is when an EMP is locking onto you, use the jammer to disable it. That works. But one other usage that may not be immediately apparent is that the jammer will also disable a spike strip. That seems odd, but when you use your jammer, any police spike strips will retract immediately, even if you're like 2 centimeters away from hitting it. You can still stop it and be able to cross it safely by using your jammer. Speaking of spike strips, you didn't hear that? They're authorized for use, so we're probably going to be dealing with them. Our strips are available too. Got 4 jammers, 2 EMPs, and 2 spike strips. I don't know what he thought he could do there, but stopping was a horrible idea on his part. Dodged what? Oh right, I forgot there was a roadblock like right before I hit him. Oh. What's up, bro? Oh wow, I actually killed him before the EMP went off. That's kind of funny. Oh geez. Oh dear lord, I am doing really poorly right now. Yet I wasn't in last place. Okay, I need to stop being so aggressive and treat this more like a race than like a slaughter fest. Because I'm probably going to lose if I don't. This will probably be the last race I do in this episode. Speaking of that though, episodes are going to be... I'm still pondering how I want to do this. As we get into these later levels, episodes, the races and general events are going to get longer and longer. And there's 2 ways to play this. I can either do less missions per episode, or make the episodes longer. That was weird, I thought it showed a roadblock there. Takedown! Not actually helpful, but still fun nonetheless. Oh jeez! Now there's a roadblock. Okay, I'm really curious if that frog is gonna be... if you can hear that frog in the recording. Because there's a... okay. A while back, I was just hanging out in my room, or not in my room, I do my recording in the living room. But I was just hanging out in the living room, minding my own business, home alone, and I hear a small thud from my left. I look over, and on the printer is a random little green frog. All the windows were closed. It just kind of fell out of seemingly nowhere. And for over a month, there's been this one frog that could be heard. It sounds like it's almost trapped in like roof boards or something around the area where the first one allegedly came from. I've never been able to figure out where that frog is. It's never showed its face, but it's been making noises for months on end. And I've been trying to figure out where it's coming from. So I don't know if it can be heard in the recording or not. I did turn my mic sensitivity up a little bit, so that would be a bit louder, mainly because in editing, I found I needed to turn my game volume down almost to minimum, just so that I didn't drown out my voice when the voice was at maximum. So I've turned my mic sensitivity up so that I'm a little louder and I can balance audio a bit better. But with that, it does run the risk of possibly picking up that frog So yeah. It's kind of like in Metroid Prime when you heard Jaden telling the cow to shut up. um, I live on a farm, so we have cows and stuff like that. Can I get that guy? Not quite. Not quite how I intended for that to go, but alright. How much time do I have left? Not so much time, it's distance. And oh dear, I have like a third of my health left. Okay, I really need to stop playing aggressively and just play catch up. As long as I can get third, I'll be fine. Oh, actually, those guys aren't nearly as far ahead of me as I thought they were. Okay, no big deal. Speaking of playing catch up and covering ground, one thing I haven't really covered much is ideal times to use your nitrous. It's because there are certain times when nitrous is really good to be used, and other times when it's not quite as effective. Can I make it? Can I make it? Can I make it? Yes! No! No! Come on! Please tell me that worked! Okay, I got third. If I didn't win because of that, that's one thing I like. This game is very forgiving. If you cross the finish line, even in a cutscene, it still counts. That would have been really hilarious if that didn't work. I would have been pissed, but I would have probably been able to look back on it later and laugh. So yeah, I guess I'll continue my talk about ideal nitrous use in the next episode. So yeah. Next time on Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, we're probably going to finally actually tackle some of those rapid deployment events, because I haven't really looked into those yet. And yeah, see you guys next time.